In today's episode, I want to talk about the long and troublesome journey of embracing and accepting your shadow self. So if this is you, if you're having problems with your shadow self and you're trying to incorporate your shadow self into your life, this could be a video of pure value for you. So sit down, stay tuned, let's start the show.
Have you got to give to me what I don't really give myself? You are driven by the finer things. I see more than materials and wealth.
Hello everybody, and welcome to a new episode of Illuminated Disclaimer. And as always, thank you for spending your time watching my videos. I'm going to tell you a story about myself, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you can relate. I spent a lot of my time on this earth just trying to seek acceptance and find my identity. And it was only when I went to the journey of self where I realized that a lot of my life was dictated by other people's thoughts, emotions and beliefs. I thought I knew who I was, but I guess I was far from that. I was doing jobs to get money. I was being around friends because I felt like that was happiness. I sought external approval more than my internal one, and I kind of went through a stage where I felt like I was drifting away. I felt that my life didn't have much meaning. And I got to a point where I wanted to express myself, and I didn't know how. I didn't know what I wanted to do which will make me happy and overjoyed. It was only when I started exploring myself as individual and opening myself up to different opportunities, I realized that I wanted to align to helping others. And that made me think of some important questions. I just wanted to know what was right for me and how I can start to get on that journey. And it happened at one point where I was working and I realized that my time was being wasted. I felt called. I felt like a higher power was speaking to me directly, saying, this is not it, this is not it. And then the synchronicities came, and then the people came and started telling me, things that I should try and attempt without me coming to them for prior, information. And that's when I started the journey to embrace a healthier, more holistic version of me. The beautiful power of hindsight made me realize that people were just telling me what I should be doing years ago, and it was only because I was like, no, I'm out here just wearing luxury clothes and trying to spend money and go out and try to impress others. I didn't actually take the time out to actually listen to what these people were saying. A lot of people were saying, you're a creative, you should be on the stage, you should be helping other people, offering me jobs. And I was just like, no, it's not what I want to do. Even though I was starting the process of starting my podcast, starting Illuminated Disclaimer, starting to work jobs where I was helping other people, I still felt I was missing something. And sometimes I would just feel frustrated and I'll be angry, and I'll take out this anger on a lot of people. So I did some more reading, I did some more searching, I did some more solo work, and I realized that I needed to do some shadow work. That's where the problem arose. I was pushing these things within. I wasn't even pushing them out of me, I was pushing them within. I was holding on to them, I was repressing them, and it came out in crazy things like self-sabotage, for example, thinking I was better than people, entitlement, being offensive towards other people unknowingly. I was doing things which weren't aligning with the person who I wanted to be. So thank you for watching so far. I'm going to talk about some things that I did to help me understand and embrace my shadow self. So the first thing I did was I wanted to gain more self-awareness in the way I was acting and how I would react instead of respond given certain stimulus and environments. Once I realized that I was speaking and it came from a place of hurt and fear and anger, I realized this is more of the ego coming out. I had to take the time to really hone in and see where my reactions and responses were actually truly coming from. Were they coming from a place of love, or were they coming from a place of fear? Now, whenever I feel a certain way, if someone's speaking to me, I give them a more of a nuanced and clear answer. And if I have any kind of hatred or anything that I'm harboring from the deepest recess of my body, I sit with it, I go for a long walk, and I try to understand why I felt that way. And that brings me to my next step. Just having some alone time is very beneficial, and if you can exercise, that is absolutely perfect as well. You can dance, you can sing, you can go for a swim, you can jog. If you don't have that much time, then you can stay at home and just give yourself an hour where you can just dedicate some time just to write down what's actually bothering you. My personal favorite is just going for a walk at night time in my area, but I understand that some people will rather stay home. And if you are one of those people, I'll just say try to be in a dark room, try to play some music, and try to put a candle on just to get a nice serene environment. Think about the ways that you reacted earlier in the day or the week, and think about whether it was the right thing to do, and think about how your body responded. When it comes to creativity as well, I would wholly suggest writing, just buying an art kit and just painting things and just trying to interpret it. So you could put it on your wall, and when you look at your wall, you can look at each art piece and actually say to yourself, wow, I felt like terrible when I done this painting, but when I did the 5th painting, that was a massive shift in my consciousness and well-being. One thing that really helped for me as well is starting a project. I started Illuminated Disclaimer because I wanted to help others, but I also need to vent out. And this gives me so much peace, because when you complete something, the oxytocin that is released is just so beneficial for your health and well-being. Get organized, start doing things consistently, and keep on getting that surge of oxytocin. The thing about social media these days is it's just really hard to just watch something and just come off after 5 minutes. You'll watch something, you can get into a loop, and hours have gone by without you even noticing. Read about some psychology. Carl Jung talks about it, specifically about the different archetypes of your shadow self. If you feel like you have certain traits which are unfavorable to the community and your environment at large, then doing some reading can help you not only find your archetype, but can find you different ways to balance that into your normal psyche. And next thing I like to do is use a mirror. Just talk to yourself in the mirror, have a conversation, and appreciate who you are. We all have a dark side to a certain extent, but a lot of us just are fearful of it. We don't want to accept it, we don't want to embrace it, we don't want to have that conversation. By having that conversation, you start the tender act of acceptance. And once you have that acceptance, you start the slow but powerful journey of bringing everything that you dislike to everything that you like, getting that balance and getting that duality. And the final thing I do is I usually talk to myself, and if I feel myself feeling a certain way, I cut myself off and I just say, Sydney, what's going on? That thing annoyed me. Why? Oh no, I feel like this person's better than me. Okay, well, what are you doing which is contradictory to your thoughts? I'm saying this because a lot of the thoughts we have is dictated by other people and not us. And we need to have strong recollection of what thoughts are ours and what thoughts are imposed onto us. So I want to do more videos about the shadow self later on in Illuminated Disclaimer series, and I want to try to bring more videos like this into the limelight, because I feel like all of us have a duty to look after ourselves by exploring our shadow self further. But this has been a new episode of Illuminated Disclaimer. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, keep on finding ways to illuminate your path. Take care.